Hello everyone and welcome to Vlogmas day 23. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, it's the 24th, and that's going to be my last day of Vlogmas. Now hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be a cover, as with everything that I do in my life, and especially collabs that I try to do in my life. It's proving a little bit more difficult than always, which is why these videos are kind of the wrong way round. I was going to do a cover and then the last video be today's video, but we're going to go out with a bang tomorrow with a little cover, hopefully. So I have other things to say in tomorrow's video. I've got a little favour to ask, so I thought before I start today's video I would take this time, so tomorrow's video is not too long, I would take this time to thank you very much for your support on this Vlogmas journey we've all been on before tomorrow's grand finale. So thank you so much for watching these videos. They're not over yet, they're still today's and tomorrow's, but thank you very much. Whether this is the first one you've watched or whether you've watched every single one or somewhere in between, the support on that has been really great. Obviously I made these videos to be watched, even if just one person was watching I still make them, but it's always nice to see that people are watching, so thanks so much. Another reason I've sort of been making these videos was to obviously get some videos on my channel and try and grow my channel a bit, so thank you very much for the likes and the shares on the videos. That's really helped out with that. On a similar note, thanks to all the new subscribers, welcome to you. I hope that you'll stick with us into 2021 for the videos there, but thanks very much for subscribing. It's my goal to try and have as many subscribers as I did on my old channel before I made this new one. So yeah, thanks very much for that. Thanks for all the comments that people have left for me to reply to, that's been really kind, and for all of the messages in like my DMs and stuff, like private messages from people saying that they're watching every day, or it's making their Christmas, or it's making them feel festive, and people that are saying that they are enjoying them. I couldn't have asked for anything better really to come out of Vlogmas, for people to take the time to message me that's been really kind. That's been the main aim of making these videos, was to give someone, or to give people something to watch over Christmas while a lot of us are cooped up and maybe not feeling as Christmassy. Obviously we were in a lockdown in November, so people just didn't have a lot to maybe do in their day, so that's been a reason. So I'm glad that you're all enjoying that, and it's also for my family because I couldn't see them, so they got to know what I was up to, which they said they really enjoyed. So yeah, thanks very much for the support. I really have enjoyed making it, and like I said, it's not quite done yet, but we're basically at the end, so thank you very much for watching. Should I say thank you again? Thank you. Now that I've rambled, I said the wrong word in yesterday's video. I meant to say rambled. I can't remember what I said now, but it wasn't correct. Warbled. Warbled is a like badly singing, like oh, isn't it? I said the wrong word. Anyway, now I've rambled a lot. Let's get started with today's video. Here is the intro music. Obviously this year has been a year, it's been a bit of a time. 2020's not been the greatest year. There's a lot of negative things to say obviously about the year. However, when things are quite negative, I like to look at the positives. So when I was younger, I had like a notebook and I would write down things that make me happy on the top whenever I was feeling a bit down, and I try to look for the positives in my life, because sometimes it's very easy to hold on to those negatives, and actually I go, oh well, I have a loving family and a roof over my head, and I would just point out just the little things in life, like the smell of freshly baked bread and having newly painted nails, you know, just little things that make me happy. And so today I'm going to do exactly the same thing about 2020. Now, I don't want this to be looking like a brag video. I'm not going to particularly be pointing out amazing things that I've done this year, because no one's done like that amazing things, because we couldn't leave our houses. However, I personally, like I say, feel like it's going to benefit me to think about all the positives this year and look back on just the good things. However, if you are not wanting to do that, or you don't feel like you've achieved anything this year, I'm not trying to make you feel bad at all. One, I'm sure you've achieved more than you think, and maybe it'd be nice to look back at the positives and think of some good things that happened. But also, if you just want to be like, you know what, it was a crap year and I didn't achieve anything, that's cool. You achieved, and like one thing is enough to have achieved this year, and that's like still being here, still being present, still being alive. We made it through 2020. So yeah, I just wanted to do a disclaimer before I mention all these great things I've achieved. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. You don't have to have achieved anything this year. We went through a global pandemic and that's fine. However, I'm ever trying to be the positive person, I do encourage you, if you'd like to look maybe at any positives that you can think of that came out of this year. So I record a second every day. I started this during my 3rd year of university, and so I look back on that to look at what happened this year, because I can't remember what happened at like March. So I've looked back at that, and I'm going to sum up each month what happened that was good. Come along with me. So I do remember January. I started 2 new jobs. So I was already working at all my other jobs. I was teaching and working at the theatre and stuff like that. But I also started being a singing teacher at a stage school and at a dance school. Now both these jobs were really great. I learned a lot and I worked with some really great kids. But they also both provided me with a really great contact that helped me with my performing career. So one of them is the stage school. I managed to not only do singing teaching, I also managed to do some choreographing. I also did some choreographing, and they let me do some directing and stuff, which was great. They worked a lot one-to-one with me, and I improved as a teacher and I learnt a lot. But also I signed up to the agency that is joined with that school, so I got my first agent. I think technically I got it in 2020, end of 2019, but I announced it in 2020 in January, so we're gonna put that in this video. So that was a really great thing in my career. After a few months I managed to get an agent through that job, which was really cool. And then at the dance school, again, that was a great job. It provided me, even through the lockdown, it meant that I still had some students, even to this day, even though I've moved away from Derby, I've actually still teaching some of those students. So that's been really great financially in this horrible year. But also the acting teacher at the dance school is the director of the show that I'm in currently, Bear. So if I hadn't started at that job, I wouldn't have made that connection and known that this show was happening. So 2 really great things in January were starting those jobs. I also did a lot of free yoga. I went to my local yoga studio and did this trial, which somehow got extended. I'm not really sure how I wangled that, but I managed to go to I was going to multiple classes a day, and I was very zen, and it was all very new year, new me, great calming body. If you know me personally, you know that I love yoga, and I did a lot of classes for free, and it was sick. So in February, apparently I lost my voice. I said I wasn't going to look at negatives, but I'd completely forgotten that I lost my voice. But I managed to do a lot of free cinema and theatre in February. So I was working at the theatre, which meant that every time I was on a certain area, so if I was inside, I meant I got to see free stuff. So I got to see like comedians and theatre like productions and musicals and lots of stuff over my time. And yeah, according to my second of the day, I saw a lot of free theatre, and then my boyfriend was working at the cinema, and so we got lots of free tickets to go and see things there too, which we saw some really amazing films, which was great while it lasted. In February was the last time, I think, before the pandemic that I went home to see my parents and stuff, so I caught up with some of my friends over brunch and things, and yeah, I spent lots of time with my mum. I think we went to the cinema. It was all just really nice. Obviously, in hindsight, if I'd known that I was not going to be going home many times after that, perhaps it would have been slightly different. But yes, last time I went home was a really nice weekend. I also started work on a super secret project, which didn't happen. It was meant to happen this year, but I'm still hoping to do it next year, fingers crossed. So that's that. I started work on it February 2020, apparently, I think. March obviously was the year that we all went into lockdown, etc. I was really busy before it happened, to the point where I was like, is this pandemic my fault? Because I remember being like, I'd really like some time off. So leading up to it, again, we were doing, I was doing all my jobs, which is a lot at the time, and we were managing to go to like the cinema a lot, and it was really lovely. I was really enjoying my life, and then everything shut down, and I really enjoyed the time off. I yeah, just enjoyed sleeping in and watching the Cheetah Girls, all of them, and then I started to get a little bit creative. Another thing I did in March, let's try and think of the positives, is that I managed to learn how to teach on Zoom. I'd never taught over video before, and obviously I was forced to do that because I had to make money still, so I learned how to sort of teach over video. I also pre-recorded a load of lessons, like I recorded them like this and then sent them to people, which was good, and just, yeah, had a nice relaxing time off. Then April was a month of filming. I was filming self-tapes, so I filmed, am I allowed to say this? I don't know. I filmed self-tapes for Netflix and for Disney, and it felt really exciting. Like, even though there was a pandemic, my career felt like it was doing stuff that was cool. And I was also filming a 30-day song challenge, so obviously when I'm given time off, I can't not do anything. My brain just likes to be challenged, so I did a 30-day song challenge to put a load of non-musical theatre stuff up on my Instagram and Facebook. You can go and check these out. They are on my Facebook page and Instagram, which is linked down below. There should be like a playlist of those. So I started to pre-film a load of those to put up, which was really fun. Yeah, just a load of non-musical theatre songs, each one that fitted with the challenge every day. So I did a lot of filming in April basically, and I think I started to upload halfway through April. I started to upload the 30-day song challenge, which was a great achievement. I managed to do it. Slight technical issues, the same as Vlogmas, but we did it and it was great. In May I became a dementia friend, which is a great achievement. It was actually in May that I did my self-tape for Netflix, so it was across these kind of few months that I was doing a lot of those self-tapes. I was also recording a load of monologues for my agent. I continued with and uploaded the rest of my 30-day song challenge, so that was cool. I actually had time to do things like yoga, like I'd wake up at a nice time, slowly wake up, do some emails, as you can see in some of my previous vlogs. I actually had time to do that. I had time to actually like cook. I made the best risotto I've ever made in my life in May. And that was that. And also in May I was on the radio. I keep forgetting this. I keep thinking like this year was crap. I was on the radio. BBC Radio Derby, the company I was working for, did a song. We did Born This Way. I've got a highlight on my Instagram of being on the radio if you want to check it out, but that was really cool. They since asked me to do stuff again, but it didn't happen, and then I kind of wasn't even living in Derby, so I was like, do you even want me anymore? But that was a really cool experience. I've never sung on the radio before. June was my last month in Derby. I started filming for my YouTube channel, so that was cool. I didn't upload them until months later, but I started to film things. Just one day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it because I'm bored, and that was good. I also started work on collab week, so I began to choreograph stuff and put together what songs I'd like to do and pick who I'd like to be in them, and I started to ask them, and yeah, started the ball rolling, because as soon as 30-day song challenge was finished, I was like, what's up next? What can I do now? So I went straight into another little challenge thing and began working on, yeah, collab week. You can see collab week on a playlist on my channel as well. They're on YouTube as well as Facebook and Instagram. Then in the start of July I moved back home. This was a positive thing for me. We moved back, my boyfriend and I moved back with our respective parents for a few months while we looked for a place in Lincoln. So we were living in Derby, we moved back to Lincolnshire while we found a place to live in Lincoln, also to save some money. So I had a lovely time with my family, like being on the farm, being surrounded by dogs. Both my parents' dog and Luke's parents had some dogs at that time, and it was just a really good, you know, time. I caught up with my friends because we were allowed to meet in like gardens, and eventually you're allowed to meet in houses as long as it was distance. Remember that good time? That was a good time. So I caught up with them, and really mentally it was great. I was still teaching but not very much, so I had a lot of time off, and it was just a really nice summer. I quite liked July. Wasn't being paid much financially, it wasn't great. I'm not trying to be like, oh, everything was great, I had time off. It, you know, there were repercussions of that, but I was really happy being home with my family. I liked it a lot. Got a smoothie. So at the beginning of August I got paid to sing at someone's birthday, so I got paid as a singer and musician, so that was nice. I did it with my friend. I saw a lot of my school friends over August. This is when you were allowed to like meet up and stay over and all that kind of stuff, so we you know, had some drinky poos and had a lovely summer of just, yeah, being in a garden and having some gin. It was great. And at the end of August we looked at some flats, and we then moved in. We found this flat and moved in at the very end of August. Then we come to September, and I properly sort of moved in September, and I started some new jobs. So I started a job as a teaching assistant working one-to-one. I also started a job at my old stage school as a singing teacher. I started a job at a dance school as a singing teacher. I started a job at my old school, my secondary school, as a singing teacher. There's a theme. I also started teaching independently as a one-to-one teacher, so not like with a company, just under my own doodah, which was cool. I also started posting on my YouTube channel, I think in September. I think I started that up as well. I joined a band in September. I was feeling very like I wasn't really a performer, and like that's what I really wanted to do. And my teaching, my one-to-one like personal students that I teach here wasn't really building up, and I was like, that's not even what I want to do anyway. I want to perform. I'm feeling, you know, down. So I just contacted some bands and I joined a band, and that was cool. So I went to my first rehearsal, or my audition and first sort of few rehearsals in September. My best friend got engaged to her long-time boyfriend. That was great. That's not a news for me, but it's positive news of the year and I'm going to include it. I also, in September, Collab Week came out at the start, so I posted that series. Again, you can go watch that if you'd like. So another thing that, you know, didn't have to do. If you didn't produce a series, you're not an awful person. If you just laid down for 6 months, that's cool too, but my brain likes to keep busy or it's not happy. So yeah, I did that, which was a great achievement. It involved a lot of people, a lot of editing, a lot of work, and I'm proud of myself for doing it. Also in September I had my first ever Toby carvery. That's not a big revelation, but it was a pretty positive thing in my life. It was delicious, the most food I've ever eaten, but like bloody great. So September was a big time. October, an even bigger month, I turned 23, which is very cool. I also joined another band, which was nice. I'm in 2 bands. I also got into a show. So on my birthday, there are videos of all of this, but on my birthday I auditioned for Bear and I got the part of Ivy, which is the part I wanted, and I was also in 2 bands rehearsing for Bear, and I finally felt like I was a performer. I graduated literally last August 2019, had a few months in the industry, had my first job, and then we went into a pandemic, and it was really like because I just felt like I wasn't doing what I wanted to, and getting these things in October and September made me feel a little bit better. Again, if you're not having any performance work at the moment, not trying to make you feel bad, but for me personally that really helped me. And also in October I had a lot of family time. It was my birthday, it was my dad's birthday, my sister's birthday, and so we all met up a lot and safely and had a good time. We're nearly at the end, guys. We then have November, which was lockdown. It was a bit of an intense month. We couldn't really do much anyway because we were inside, so it was a lot of food for me, a lot of teaching on Zoom. We also, again, said I wasn't going to mention anything negative, but we also had a fire in our flats, which was a bit lightly traumatic, and so I definitely took it easy in November. Not that I could have done much, but I did, kind of just chill out, eat some food, watch It's Always Sunny. It was a good time. So my main achievement in November is that I didn't die. Not only from the fire, but also just my mental health. I found the second lockdown quite challenging, and I just managed to stay afloat with the support of my partner. I also did a workshop with a West End professional. That was quite cool and useful. And now we're in December. My biggest achievement of December will be Vlogmas. Producing a video, uploading a video every day for 24 days, as long as tomorrow's goes all right. That was obviously a great achievement for me. I'm very pleased that I managed to do it. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed it, and even with some technical difficulties, I think I've managed to do it. So that's pretty cool. Like I said in the announcement video, I did Collab Week, but that was all pre-filmed. I did 30-day song challenge, which was even more videos, like for 30 days instead of 24 days, but a lot of that was pre-filmed, whereas this I literally sometimes have been uploading or making the video and editing it and uploading it all on the same day, all while still trying to work every day. I'm impressed with myself. Go me. So, apart from tomorrow's video, I am now going to sign off for the rest of the year, basically. So I'm going to get tomorrow's out, and then I'm going to spend some lovely time with family, have time off, and I will see you guys in the new year. So please, if you're not already subscribed, do subscribe. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments something positive that happened to you this year. I encourage you to try and think positively if you can. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow for the last hurrah in Vlogmas day 24. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye!